The Nunes Shevchenko fight never came to fruition. Very happy that we're being joined right now by the Bullet herself, Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina, how are you?
Hello, Ariel. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. You've been competing for a long time in combat sports. Would you say this was your most frustrating, your worst weekend? How would you describe what transpired, what happened on Saturday to you?
Of course, it's like I was preparing for this fight during 3 months. I put all hard work on this, and it was like unbelievable for me that it's happened. And when I received this notice, I could not believe that it's true. But when you see confirmed that it's it will not happen, this fight, it was like, wow, I cannot believe this.
Around what time on Saturday, if you recall, did you find out the news that she was in the hospital not feeling well? And then how long after that did you find out that she was out?
It was about noon that I received the first notice, and maybe I think in maybe 1-2 hours, it's already was like, okay, it's done. But then after I received this possibility that Joanna will step to the octagon, and I still was ready for the fight. I still was in the same condition, in the same adrenaline type. But after a few hours more, it was completely clear that it will not happen anything.
Have you ever experienced something like this in your career, in or out of MMA, where you weigh in, it's fight day, and your opponent pulls out?
Usually it was sometimes, but it was maybe 1-2 days before, maybe 1 week before, but so close in the day of the fight, no, never.
Wow. Do you think it ever got close to you versus Joanna? Do you think or was that just kind of a pipe dream?
I think in the future it's everything possible, because it's we had our era, we had our history in Muay Thai fights, and why not we can start our era and history in MMA too.
But as far as Saturday, do you think it ever got close to you fighting her on short notice?
I was ready. I was ready to fight if she was she was ready to fight too. So we both was ready. It was not depends of us. It was depends the commission and the organization. But I think the both athletes, we was ready.
Okay. Did they ever talk to you about, I know Jessica I was available because she was supposed to fight the night before. Were there any other options thrown your way other than the Joanna option?
No, it was only this option that I had for the fight, and I don't think it would be in these situations the right way to choose another different opponent.
Okay, so you were only interested in fighting either Amanda or Joanna.
But I never was nobody proposed me to fight someone else.
Okay.
Either.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I was told from your manager that the UFC has taken care of you monetarily. Dana White said that you were paid around $70K. Is that accurate?
Yes, Dana White says they will take care about me.
We just had Chael Sonnen on the show, and he suggested that there should be sort of a forfeit clause. If your opponent doesn't show up on fight day, that you should be stripped as champion, and that you, Valentina, should have won the belt and won, your show money and your win money. Do you think that this is something that should be done? Do you feel like this is the right thing to do, that because Amanda didn't show up to fight on fight day, that she should be stripped and that you should be the champion?
Actually, I'm not in 100% believe that it's true that she's trying to say it, that it was medical, something with medical because of her illness or something like this. Because during all these weeks before the fight, during 1 day before the fight or weigh-in on the workout, everybody was see her very in very good health, very aggressive, and even in the weigh-in, she was saying, "I'm ready to give this fight, very good fight, and take the victory." And the same, doing all things aggressive like she did. And then after weigh-in, in the day of the fight, she's torn out, and she said "Okay, I was feeling all week bad," but in the same time, she was saying every time that she's feeling very strong and prepared for the fight.
So you read her statement, right, about her sinus infection and that she wasn't feeling well. You read this, I'm assuming, online?
Yes, I hear something like this. My manager told me something like this. But in the same time, for example, I will not surprise that in the next time when UFC will give us another date for the fight, she will turn down the fight in the same moment and do this kind of stuff again. Because, I every time I'm interested in the history, I'm reading about like how army they are using their tactic for their win their battles, and sometimes they are doing the same. Like they're preparing for the fight, their opponent prepared for the fight. In the right moment, they are turning down, and opponent like okay, the next time preparing doing the same, and the same turning down. So they're expecting to relax their opponent and when it will be like unexpected time for them to attack and win the fight. And of course, I will not surprise if she will do the same again the next time and trying to relax me and waiting like the right moment to say, okay, let's do the fight, and like feeling that I'm not prepared and try to like play with this game plan. But I want to say it will not happen with me anytime, and she will try to do it in vain because I'm training every day. It doesn't matter like if I have a fight or don't have a fight. I train in every time, and I will be prepared for every time that it will be like the date for our fight.
So in other words, you think that she doesn't want to fight you?
I don't know what she has in her mind, but I think like I see what I see. She turned down the fight, and in the very very last minute, and before the fight, she was saying that I'm ready, I'm feeling good, I'm feeling strong, and everybody could see that she's feeling strong, she's feeling aggressive, she's acting in the in our stare downs, like before the fight, in the weigh-ins, in the workout, she was feeling totally healthy.
Don't you think it's weird for her to actually cut the weight, make the weight, weigh in, and then on fight day to back out? I mean, to go through all that trouble, don't you think that's strange?
I think that's why I was giving like example. Maybe this is her like another game plan for trying to relax me, trying to destroy me with this like mental game, because I was preparing for the fight during 3 weeks or 3 months, and she is feeling that I am prepared like no one time. She's feeling that I'm strong. She was feeling during all our face off, and she knows that for the next time I will prepare like another maybe 2 months more, and
Right.
I will be. And she's trying to another time maybe to do the same, and then like try to relax me, and when. How she maybe thinks that unexpected to try to like to give this to like to fight me when I will not be prepared. But how I say it will not happen.
And so just to ask the question again, do you think you should be the champion because she didn't fight on Saturday?
I feel that I have to be the champion in like in any way. It doesn't matter. Like I don't ask me to give this gift and give me the belt. I don't ask it. Every time I was fighting for my goals, I was working hard for my dreams, and I don't wait in nothing that someone will like give me like a gift. Something. I every time work hard, but it's difficult for me to say because I'm ready to fight for my belt, and it doesn't matter. Like, okay, it doesn't happen. It didn't happen this time, this Saturday, but it will happen anyway. I know it.
You were offered a fight against her in Edmonton, right? September 9th?
I think so, because my manager, they are speaking with UFC right now.
Yeah.
Till now, I'm waiting the date from UFC and my manager, and I hope it will be soon. As soon as they can give a date.
And do you think that she will accept?
She has to accept.
What do you mean?
I mean, this is what I mean. She has to accept the fight. If not, it's not conduction like a champion, because you have to defend your belt. If you
Right.
cannot, you have to leave it.
And for you as a fighter to go through the entire training camp, fight week, weight cut, weigh in, and then to get to Saturday and not have that release of fighting and not getting to do what you set out to do. How did you cope with that mentally? Like, did you feel, because I would imagine, I mean, that would mess you up, right? Did you feel uneasy? Did you feel like you had to go for a run to, get some of the adrenaline out? How did you react to that?
First of all, in the same day of the fight, when I received the notice, of course, I was frustrated, and I feel like, no, but still, I had all adrenaline from preparation, from everything. And already on the next day, I was feeling like this feeling when it's something not complete. And usually after the fight, when fight is over, you feel like free. But this time, I feel not free. And still my goal and my mission is not complete. That's why for now, my mental situation, mental condition, I am still in the fight mode. And it will be a little bit longer than I was expected, but I'm professional and I take it right now very cold. And I know exactly if I will put too much emotions in my mind, in my head, it will not work good for me. That's why I'm just waiting my time. I will do the same, preparing the same with the same desire to put my best performance for this fight, and I will do my work. I will do everything to win the fight for the next time, and I hope that she will complete her part too, and she will not turn down next time too.
After the fight, Dana White said that he thought her reason to withdraw from the event was 90% mental, 10% physical. Do you agree? Do you think that she is mentally weak, that she wanted nothing to do with you and looked for a way out?
I think she was feeling it because usually when you have some illness, you are feeling that you are not good, but you had 3 months to prepare for this fight, and 3 months to put your mind to the fight, to give these directions. But if the fighter doing this kind of things, I cannot fight, I will not fight, I don't want fight. I don't know how it's possible, how it's it's not work in the professional world. No.
Would you like to see them put another top bantamweight on the card if you fight on September 9th so that if something happens, that there's a backup plan?
I think they're thinking to prevent everything. Of course, I want to fight, and I don't want to to spend all my time to training and concentration just in vain. And after, I have to wait another, I don't know how many months more. I don't want that it happen again. Of course, I would like to next time to fight for real, of course.
Do you have interest in fighting Joanna again at some point? I know you fought her 3 times, but not in MMA. Is this something that you would like to see happen?
How I said, it will be very interesting for us because we have our era in Muay Thai and we can start our time in MMA. But really, I didn't think about this till Saturday, because I was concentrated on my fight, on my title in 135 weight class. And for now, I still have the same plan to win my belt in my weight division. But what will come else after the fight, we will start to think about this after. For now, I still want my belt in my weight class.
And again, if you fight on the 9th for the belt and win the belt, what are the chances your next fight would be at 125 to try to become a dual champion?
I think for this type of questions, we have to come back after the fight because still we have enough time, almost 2 months before the fight. But how I say, 125 for me, it's same my weight class because for 135 I don't cut a weight, and actually all my training camp I already was 135, and it was not nothing for me to I don't cut weight for 135. For 125, yes, it's also my weight, and it will be comfortable for me to fight there too.
Your next fight, or do you want to wait a bit? If you win the belt, are you going to stick around at 135 and defend it?
I think it's a little bit early to say about this because I still don't have this belt. Still, it didn't happen, this fight. And all this defense or next plans, we have to speak about this already about after the fight, because it's for me, I'm this kind of person who are focused on the really like near future without thinking too much if it will be like this or maybe like this, because it's if you don't have still the result what you want, you cannot think about nothing in the future yet.
Fair enough. One last thing for you. I noted during the weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins, that I thought you appeared to be in the best shape of your career. Is that accurate? And if so, what did you do differently for this fight?
Not much things like very, very differently. Only our training camp, we started in Thailand in Tiger Muay Thai gym. Then we went to Texas. We trained in Gracie Barra, a Houston Muay Thai. In the final, our preparation we made in 303 Academy in Denver, Colorado. But more, I think it was like not most part like physically, but also mentally, because if you have only physically part, you cannot win for 100% without mental part. I think it was both working together, because for me, my goal, the main goal, it's every time, how I said every time, it's to be the champion in my weight division. And I'm very close, was for this in the Saturday. Still now I have like to wait a little bit more, but it doesn't change nothing, because I desire it the same like I did it before.
Last thing for you, Valentina, and again, thank you so much for the time. If you could send Amanda Nunes a message, what would it be right now?
No, I will not send any message to her, and I will say everything that I want during the fight when it will be happened, and no one word before the fight, only with punch, because I still remember the time in the face-off in summer kickoff, and it's still in my mind.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much again for the time. I'm sorry this has happened, but kudos to you and your team for handling it with class. I know it wasn't easy, and I thought you handled it very well. So thank you very much, Valentina, and I hope you get the fight sooner rather than later.
Thank you very much, Ariel. I will be prepared for this fight, and I will be ready again in my best shape. I'm very sure for this.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
There she is, Valentina Shevchenko. Hopefully, we'll get to see that fight in a little less than 2 months in Edmonton. That's the plan, at least as of right now. Again, tried to reach out to Amanda, wanted to have her on, wanted to get her side of the story, but as of right now, she declined.